Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently dropping a little bit, but really only a little bit. Dropped a little bit below 41k, and generally the crypto market, no real surprises. If I look in the top 10, pretty much everything moving together with Bitcoin, moving sideways a little bit. The only thing is Terra Luna obviously going down in line with my expectations. We talked about that in the last video as Terra Luna crossed below a trend line. But everything else really without surprises. There's one interesting development here, which is ApeCoin, which to be honest, I didn't have on the radar, but I'm also not going to buy this. A lot of people lost money with that now already. I think it was already at $40, which doesn't show on this chart, but it was at the peak at $40. And yeah, I'm not gonna go into this one. Yeah, knowing that should it go to the moon, that's fine. I'm willing to take that risk, but I think this is just going to be something that, yeah, where people are going to lose money. But happy to be corrected. But that's just my view here. I try to stick with the good and solid and long-lasting projects, especially ecosystem projects, which I think will have a bright future. It's always important to understand what is a project that might be only here in the short term, and maybe what is it called? Is it called ApeCoin? Maybe that will be here for the future, but I try to keep a more safe approach. Yes, ApeCoin. Anyway, let's go to Bitcoin. This is a Bitcoin video. And what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is in this zone. Yeah, we talked about this zone, that if Bitcoin gets into this zone, we're here in a different, let's call it a different level on the chart. Before that, Bitcoin moved here below this zone all the time. 39.7k was the resistance level. And then here, as it happened, I told you, when we break into this zone, we're going to see a more significant move. Now, I expected the price will shoot up to 42.7. It did only go up to 41.7, which doesn't mean it couldn't go up higher. It has for now retested the previous resistance, so 39.7k as support, which is positive. You can see that candle here, a rather bullish candle, yeah, especially in a small uptrend, rather bullish, which doesn't mean we now go to the moon. It just means that we are probably not going to break below this support line anymore. But again, of course, it's possible. We can only walk around here and look at the price in terms of probabilities, what's going to happen. Yeah, it's holding here at the moment. Yeah, I guess it's also holding above the 20-day moving average, which is currently at 40.1k, and that's going to go up now because the price is above it. It doesn't really look to me anymore like a proper bull flag, so that looked a bit like that yesterday, because it's getting quite long here, that one. But yeah, maybe it is a bull flag. You could look at it like that, just a consolidation sort of in an uptrend. Yeah, because if I go and take a look at the 1 hour chart, let's go higher. You can see that the price was here, at least when it peaked on the 16th of March, it was getting into the overbought range, and then it moved higher here, and we saw a bearish divergence on the chart, and I think that is now playing out. We're moving down a little bit, but the price has just managed to get back into the bullish range on the 1 hour RSI. So it seems to be holding in that bullish momentum range, and that could indicate that we are actually moving higher from here. We had a bit of a fake out to the downside, which is actually quite bullish, because if you get that fake out, then typically, not typically, but oftentimes you then get a move into the other direction. And we can currently see a series of green candles here. So let's see how that's playing out. Of that sort of, yeah, if we want to call it a bull flag, of that bull flag, we've got a resistance level here today at around 41k. So if you see the price break above 41k, then I think we can certainly get again to 41.5. That would be the first target. That is the beginning of that wedge pattern, but possibly also all the way up to 42.7k. But bear in mind, we are now only in a range here. Again, another range within this triangle, and the price really needs to break out of this range in order to get any meaningful movement done. Yeah, because at the moment, again, we're just moving sideways, and anything that is happening in this triangle here doesn't really mean a lot. Yeah, doesn't really mean a lot. I showed you here this triangle pattern based on the Elliott Wave count, where in a wave E, we could now move all the way up to 45.5k, and even, we could move all the way up to 45k or 45.5, and then that would be the primary expectation if this triangle plays out, that we are then going to exit this triangle to the opposite of the wave E. This is typically what happens in such a triangle. You exit at the opposite side of the wave E, and that would be actually into the direction of my target area down there between 20 and 29k. That is still my primary expectation. And bear in mind the 61.8% FIB level is at 27.5k. Only if we break above 45.5k, then we're going to get into this area up here. That would then be a different Elliott Wave count, different scenario between 55 and 65k. So I already told you that if we break above 45.5k, and of course I have to be here, I have to be in front of the PC or laptop to do it, but I'm then going to open a long trade, but only after a successful retest of the previous support, and we'll take that as sort of a speculative long trade position in which I will then take profits up here in that target area. Until, unfortunately, there isn't much more I can tell you. We can move all the way up, as I said, to 45.5, and we can still exit that triangle to the downside. So that would still be my primary expectation, that at any point in time here, we're moving further down. And the reason has to be that is the primary expectation, because Bitcoin still hasn't made a lower low. And as I explained yesterday in the video, I am not looking here at a running flat, a so-called running flat where the low could already be in. No, I'm looking at an expanded flat where the low has to be below the wave A. And if you're interested to learn more about that, check out my last Bitcoin video from yesterday. I did explain it all there. There is a need for the price to make that lower low. That's what Bitcoin typically does. That is how, especially in a wave like this, a wave 2, and also in a young market like the crypto market, it's normally done. Of course, it's possible in another way, but what I always try to find here is the most likely scenario. That's the only way you can do it. There's no other way. I can't tell you hundreds of different scenarios, and also it's not responsible to talk only about one scenario and only about what I think is going to happen. We have to talk about an alternative as well, because otherwise you wouldn't be well informed, and I always try to keep you very well informed. So that's my view here on Bitcoin at the moment. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a like, and subscribe as well, and leave a comment for the algorithm. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.